Good afternoon, folks. Ari here from Direct Auto Outlet in Fair Oaks, California. I've got this gorgeous 2012 Lincoln MKZ Hybrid for you today. Same as the Ford Fusion Hybrid, just a little bit better dressed up, a little more polished and sophisticated with a lot more options. This will be a test drive and driving impression video of this vehicle as we get it out on the road, put it through its paces, take you along with us for the ride so that you can see and hear everything that we see and hear. Now, we do have an in-depth walk-around video of this vehicle as well on our website where we demonstrate its many functions and features. Make sure you catch that video as well. We will be sure to include links to both videos in the description portion of the ad anywhere you see this vehicle for sale. Just want to take a quick walk around just to show you how brilliantly and how clean the vehicle is, how brilliantly it represents itself on the outside before we begin. But without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us. $64,168 original lifetime miles. This is a one-owner vehicle, clean Carfax vehicle history report, showing no accidents and damage, clean California title in hand. Absolutely stunning vehicle. This vehicle is near and dear to my heart because I actually used to own a 2013 version of the same car, and it was one of the best cars I have ever owned. I used it to travel from city to city, sometimes even out of state for auctions, and it was one of the most comfortable, most fuel efficient, lowest cost of ownership cars I have ever owned. I put over 100,000 miles on that thing, nothing more than just regular maintenance and upkeep. This beautiful example is very well equipped versus the Ford Fusion Hybrid, which is a little bit more toned down. You have the dual zone climate control, you have the navigation system, the THX premium sound system, power everything, of course, self-dimming rear view mirror, pop up and slide back moonroof as well. And this 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine doesn't feel like a four-cylinder engine because of the instant torque of the hybrid powertrain, the electric portion. You have instant torque here, making this feel more like a high-powered V6 versus a moderately powered four-cylinder engine. So you're getting best of both worlds, folks. You're getting a vehicle that feels like a V6 or even a small V8 with fuel economy that would exceed one of, say, a Honda Civic or a Toyota Corolla. You also have all of the premium feel of a luxury vehicle. You're not missing anything. You got the wood trim on the steering wheel, leather wrap steering wheel, ambient lighting in the interior. You also have new tires, chrome wheels, automatic headlights, xenon headlights, by the way. And speaking of the headlights, they are crystal clear because this vehicle has been garaged all of its life. Paint and finish is in great shape as well. Going through these twists and turns at over 50 miles per hour. Vehicle is not even breaking a sweat. It doesn't lean, feels very confident and stout. Actually makes you feel like a better driver than you really are just because of how easy it is to operate and drive this vehicle. Acceleration is instant, lots of power, lots of torque available to you instantly. And as we apply our brakes, we don't feel any shaking or shimmying on the pedal, no shaking or shimmying on the chassis, and no shaking or shimmying on the steering wheel. Nothing that would indicate any warpage of the brakes or rotors whatsoever. This next section of road we're going to make a right-hand turn on, and this next section of road has a lot of uneven pavement, rough roads, and potholes. It really puts the suspension through its paces. We purposely bring vehicles here because if there's ever any excessive wear and tear on this front suspension, rear suspension, upper or lower control arm, sway bar links, tie rod ends, ball joints, we'll typically feel the movement and the clunking and the noise on this section of road, and boy is this thing handling it great. So smooth, so quiet. It doesn't have a numb feeling like maybe a Lincoln Town Car will. It's much more sport tuned, but I wouldn't call it sport tuned as just as compared to a town car it would be. Very smooth, very quiet. It's actually very engaging, even peppy. Great feeling vehicle. This is just a very, very pleasant vehicle to drive is the best way I could put it. You'll have to come experience this for yourself. Folks, this section of road we typically do a 0 to 60 acceleration run. We park over here on the side of the road going up this hill. As you can see, we have the air conditioning blasting, putting maximum load. Show you how quickly you can accelerate in this vehicle. 50% throttle, 60% throttle, 70% throttle. Look at this vehicle accelerate. 80% throttle as we get on it. And 0 to 60 before you know it. It's not what you expect from a hybrid, but boy, can it deliver if you need it to. Very smooth. I love my Ford Fusion Hybrid. I sold mine with over 200,000 miles on it to a local resident here right in our town, and he stays in contact with us once in a while. They're extremely reliable, partially because the hybrid system in many of these Fords were actually Toyota hybrid systems. When Ford introduced its first hybrid in 2005, it didn't want to dump tons of money into research and development, so it reached out to Toyota, and Toyota provided Ford with all of its hybrid systems on many of its earlier hybrids. So that's why these hybrids are so much better than the newer Ford hybrids that aren't as good. I owned a 2022 Ford Maverick hybrid, and man, with the 19,000 miles I owned it, I had so many issues with it. Not the case with these folks. This vehicle was over $42,000 when it was brand new in 2012, which is equivalent to about $60,000 now. So this was a very premium vehicle. That's why it's got such a premium feel. And now brought to you at the bargain price of under $10,000. This is a ton of car for the money, folks. When you compare when you say hybrid vehicle, first thing that comes to mind is Prius, Toyota Prius. And when you compare this to a Toyota Prius, you're not lacking in any category with this vehicle. As a matter of fact, it's very clean, very refined, much more premium than a Toyota Prius. Doesn't look Sometimes you try to avoid certain words, but they just describe the Prius so well. I'll just tell you, the word I'm thinking about is starts with an R. It's a word we shouldn't use anymore, but perfectly describes a Prius, and this vehicle is anything but a R word. So, in any case, this thing is so nice. You get a lot more car for your money with this vehicle. This was a Prius, all things equal, same year, same mileage, same condition, optioned the same way, you could expect to pay 30, 40, maybe even 50% more than this. So if you just want to follow everything that you're told you should be looking at, go buy a Prius. But if you want to actually get expert advice from a car expert that's been in the industry for 17 years, that's experienced just about every car out there, this is the one you want, folks. This is a vehicle that I would put a friend or family into. I apologize about my phone. It seems to go off at the most inopportune times. In any case, hope you enjoyed our video. If you have any additional questions, concerns, or comments, you can get a hold of us directly by dialing area code 916-765-7575 or find us 24/7, 365 days a year on our website at directauto.com. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us and investing your valuable time, sticking with us throughout the entirety of this video. I certainly do appreciate it. We hope to see and interact with each and every one of you in the near future. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Take care now, folks. Bye-bye.